So we all think he's funny about money, so we all walking on our toes. Not understanding my dad had, now what I saw is what my dad's money problem was. When we grew up, he had our college fund, all our college was paid for. All our insurances were lined up. All our cars were lined up. So I realized he didn't have a money problem. We had a management problem. And we didn't want to, so he forced my mom to manage the money because she's a spender. And I love my mom. Big heart. Love to go shopping with her when he's not around. Are you with me? Because I know I was going to get hooked up.
Yeah.
Are you with me? But let's get it right. Are you with me?
Amen.
He didn't have a problem with money. He wanted to manage the money so we could have something. So we had houses. We had cars. He gave over 5 cars away.
Yes, yes.
And was able to do that. I'm not talking about with titles. I'm paid. And he wasn't the strongest Christian. If somebody was in need, he was able to bless them with a car. He blessed his siblings. He blessed people that weren't family members in the ministry with cars. He gave over 4 cars in the ministry away.
That's right.
Because he handled his finances. Come on, wow, Thomas. Woo! Are y'all getting something out of this? I got 5 minutes, but I just, you see, the more you get to know God, he infuses himself in every area of your life, in your finances, in your relationships, and raising your children, and it is not like it's not segmented anymore. Amen?
Amen.
Here's the other thing I find out is this. Nothing takes the place of spending time with your kids.
That's good.
Video games won't do it. TV won't do it. You know, nothing takes the place of spending time with kids. You see, I love it when I come home and, you know, the TVs aren't on and they've been home and they're playing Nerf darts, and the big ones and the young ones are all playing together, or they're playing hide and seek, or they're playing the tag and that. They're doing all type of stuff.
Amen. All
Type of games. Or they got a Monopoly board out. They're playing Monopoly. What they do is, I love that. Amen?
Amen.
Because they're interacting with each other. Amen?
Amen.
And so, I mean, or they're doing crocheting or stitchery together. And they're showing me what they put together. Are you with me?
Amen.
I'm just saying, we got to make sure that, you know, we think sometimes we got to do all this expensive stuff with our kids. Sometimes you just take them to the park.
That's true.
You know, I used to get 50 cents at Burger King right now. I'm saying go buy the Happy Meal too, because some of y'all they need a Happy Meal. If you tighten your finance, don't mean that you go. It's not money. I'm telling you. Light bulb. How can I say this? Light bulb. It's about quality, not quantity.
That's good.
Well, my mom and dad did this for me. They taught you wrong. Everybody say this. My parents taught me something. Not everything. But something wrong. So why would I want to repeat the same curses?
Amen.
I don't know about you, when I see things that were done wrong, that create the wrong thing in me, and the wrong mindsets toward money, and the wrong attitudes toward people, I don't want to continue those bad habits. I want to stop those bad habits and say the buck stops here. Now, I look at people that have become what I want to become, that are Christian, and say, how do I get to that point? And I ask them, what are their secrets? They say, you know what? Teach. I mean, another church we had a couple people that were millionaires, and I would talk to their kids, because I see that kids are so humble. They said, because we let them know that's our money, that's not your money.
Yes.
You have to earn your money one day.
That's right.
Well, that don't seem dead fair.
That's right.
Amen, like, well, hallelujah. Glory to God. Because most Americans, 98% of Americans are in debt because they don't know how to manage money.
Yes.
So something has to change, because we had this baby boomer generation that had a sense of entitlement and gave their kids everything. So now they think they can have everything when they can't afford it. So our drive a Benz, our drive a Lexus, our drive an Infiniti, our drive a Cadillac, we're not over leveraged.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with having some. You have those cars and they're paid for. people say that you can handle it, but when you over leverage and you can't even afford to eat,
Yeah.
something wrong with that.
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Yeah.
So you got to break those curses.
That's right.
And you're going to teach your kids how to manage money. Give them an allowance and be reasonable. Don't give them $20 for speaking wiping the table.
Come on. Come on.
Don't give them $20 when the tooth fairy comes. Where you going to go up to?
That's true. That's true.
I mean, it's, oh, you just smile, here's 20. No. Because life isn't like that.
That's right.
Give them reasonable amounts. And when they do certain things, you add to it. The little ones, I may give $2 or $3.
That's
My
right.
big boys, because they've been faithful over years of faithfulness, I guess I just start them at that. I start giving them a little bit more. Are you with me?
Yeah.
And I let them know, if stuff ain't done, it's a dock and pay.
Yes.
I ain't taking no money machine. But where's my allowance? Well, you can get A, B, C, and D done.
Amen.
You did half the job, you get half of the money.
Amen.
You want the whole money? Give me the whole job.
Amen.
Well, I'm going to do it now. You're going to do it now, but you're going to get half of what you would have got. Half of the half. For being late.
That's
Because
right.
in life, you know, if you mess up, you can't just get the same pay for doing the same thing over when you do it afterward. Am I telling the truth? And I want them to learn, I tell them this, I said, if you can deal with daddy in this household, you're going to excel in the world.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to set you up for a win-win situation, and you won't be expecting anything, and you understand when you get something, it's gravy. Amen?
That's right.
So you teach these fundamental principles. I'm closing with this.
That's good.
Young man I adopted, my wife and I, we adopted when he was 14.
Yeah.
We went, after Myrtle Beach, we went to North Carolina, to Wilson. I had a call to see my grandmother, and then I got a chance to see Bobby. And one thing he said to me, that's about, he's 33 now.
Yeah.
And we had him over, I guess 18 years ago,
Yeah.
17 years ago. I'll do the math, I can't remember, amen. And one thing he said, I think it's 18, he said this, he says, Howard, every stuff that I'm using I use everything that you taught me in my daily life. So things I thought you just being mean. Because I remember he came and said, I'm not going to work. I said, you're not going to work? I mean, I'm not going to school. You 50, I'll drop out. I said, okay. So I can't make you. And he told me, you ain't going to make me go to school. I said, okay. I said, all right, you going to drop out? Well, here's some rules that we're going to have in our house. You're going to drop out at 14, you're going to have to get a job.
That's right.
You're going to pay me rent. And he said, fine. So you got to pay me $300 a month because you can't stay nowhere free.
That's right.
Amen. So you got a job at Cuff Food, one at McDonald's, and one at somewhere else. Was it Chick-fil-A? He had 3 jobs.
Yeah.
And I remember the first, after about, in movie theater. And I never forget, after the first check he got, he was like, man, it was like $110 after he worked so many hours at McDonald's. I said, thank you, go and give that to me. Your rent. Got the next check, still owe me money for rent. Give me that check. And after about 3 months of that, are you with me? Then finally got his money. He was able to keep like 50. I said, well, you got to pay tithes. Every time he got money, he had to pay tithes on it. Then he had to pay me what he owed me. So he's staying in my house.
Amen.
And then after that, you know, by the second or third month, he said, I want to go back to school. Because he had expensive taste. He wanted to go buy Jordans.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when he got to tell you, instead of affording 2 or 3 pair of Jordans, he could only afford 1 pair of Jordans.
Yeah.
That's $200. So he's like, you know what, after about a month and a half, maybe that's about 2 months, he said, I'm ready to go back to school. I'm ready to learn. I told him, I said, you go to school, that's your job. You don't have to owe me any money. And if you work, that's your extra money that you get to keep.
Yeah.
But as long as you live in my house, you got to pay me some, if you want to be a man, because you're a man now. You want to make man decisions.
That's good.
Are you with me? And what that day, one thing, again, 33, he's saying, everything that you did with me, I learned something. Even though I didn't appreciate it, even though I act like I didn't appreciate it, I learned a lot from it. I'm able to take care of my parents. I'm able to handle my business because of what you showed me. Here your family showed me. Stand to your feet, everybody. Hallelujah.